All right then, we're off again. And like I always say, every time I start one of these two-shoe sessions, or at least it might be three if I run away, but I'm always thinking, oh no, could this be the big nasty? I've just been watching actually a couple of things on YouTube. One, a guy who calls himself Casino King. His name is Matt something or other, I think. He sat down at a baccarat table with $5,000, and his first bet was 500. Well, you know, he was just basically sticking his neck in a noose and then kicking the chair away. I mean, it was just ridiculous. And I don't mean that as an insult. I'm just basically using him as an example of the sort of mentality that undoes us all if we don't get to grips with the reality of the numbers that rule all these games. And of course, we have to understand that the numbers are actually the least of the casino's best friends. Their biggest buddy is the ability of gamblers to just literally shoot themselves in the foot, the head, whatever. You know, it's just, but it was so depressing. And then I watched a 15-minute thing with Brandon O'Brien on this stake thing, which is now paying him money to promote them. And he was talking about how the table stakes are from 10 cents to 50,000, which means basically there's no limit in either direction. You know, it's just, that's huge. What the hell is it? 1 to 500,000? I don't need a 1 to 500,000 spread, but he played dumbly as well. I think in the end he claimed to have come out with maybe even or something, but he was following something which is follow the winner. Absolutely nonsense. It's just crazy. You know, you look at any of the patterns on these sessions, and you could see that following the winner would be a disaster. That's 51 second, and that's a repeat. And of course, with all of these things, follow the winner, avant dernier, which is back the winner before last, all of them will work for little bursts. Doesn't matter, you know, what you do, but what you have to have is you have to have a consistent strategy which basically covers all bases, you know, and that's essentially what this is. The one thing that I don't do when I'm playing in real time here and recording it is I don't play the hop, simply because the hop is something that it will really take good care of you over the long run, but you need a huge bankroll. Probably what I should do is at the end of this session I should add the latest on the model so that you can see what I'm talking about. But anyway, where the hell am I? What day is it? And my family is due here from California in just a few hours. They've landed safely at Heathrow. I just had an exchange with them saying that they were leaving the airport soon and hitting the motorway, so they're about 3 hours away, I guess. Anyway, I think we're dealing now. That's a double for the tie. That's +1. That's a repeat. Okay, we got away with that, so we just go back to the minimum. Oh, and by the way, when I say got away with that, I don't mean that we got all of a sudden super lucky. We didn't. It was just the flow. You know. Excuse me, my usual throat problem. Where the hell am I? 75. Lost the 25. There we go. Double for the loss. Repeat. Good. +1 for the win. +1. +1. Uh-oh. Not a favourite double. Well, that stays how it is because it's over 100. Now we drop down to the plus max. It just isn't. It isn't worth your while to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. You'll make money in the short term, but then, you know, at the upper end, when you finally lose, it's going to be a very big bet, and it'll take a big bite out of your prior winnings. So yeah, I don't think so. Up to you, obviously. You know, I mean, absolutely up to you. And there we go. Did I win a 125? One at 200. Yeah, I think I'll chase that. So that is 3-4 third. Oops. There we go. So we got our wins and we did okay. +1 for the win. 51 second. God, I've done so many of these now, it's sort of like I'm in my sleep. Repeat. But my audience of 2 or 3 isn't responding very much. In fact, I even know who one of the audience is. So it's kind of amusing. But no, it's all a matter of just you know, getting this stuff on the record so there's no misunderstanding. So that was where did I go there? 50. 100. Well, that must be a back to the min, mustn't it? See, this is why when I'm playing blackjack I get lost, because the blackjack thing doesn't allow this sort of information, and I just wish these guys would make a blackjack sim as good as this, and they could, I'm sure. I'll just keep nagging them. I mean, they don't actually respond to my emails, you know, so maybe they all think I'm nuts, but I think the demos suggest otherwise. But hey, that's the plus max. Alright, we do that again. And next time it'll be an eater. And we go back to the minimum. Ding dong. Did alright there though, didn't we? +1. +1. Repeat that. No, we're going to call that 1-2. That's too soon for a repeat. After 3, yes, but you know. So that's 3-4 third. And there we are. Where are we at? We're way ahead, aren't we? My goodness, I hadn't even looked over there. 24-9. Bloody hell. Hey! Double for the loss. 1-2 third, 1-2 third. Made that one. Yeah, maybe I should put more information in the titles of these videos, you know, like what the bias was and what the plus was. I haven't really looked into that properly. I mean, this is a one-man band situation, you know, so I'm not always, that's a repeat, not always as on top as I'd like to be. Okay, that's a fallback, minimum. +1 for the win. 51 second. 2-3 third. Yeah, it's an odd shoe, this, but we're at well above double. My friend Mo has a thing where he says if you're halfway through the shoe, sorry, was it a dozen? No. A third of the way through the shoe, and there's a clear bias, then he believes that the bias will last to the end. I don't think there's a mathematical basis for that. I did run a model and it was indecisive, but at the same time I was not entirely behind it. I think there are improvements that I could make to that analysis, but I think that we're in the territory of 50-50, and that's not territory that much interests me, you know. Now I've lost myself again. Minimum. Sorry about this, but it is hard to talk and play cards. Okay, now that is a repeat, and that's 2-3 third, 1-2-3, and that's 5-3 drop. I think that's our first drop in this shoe. 5-3 it is. 1-2-3, 2-3, 5-6, 1-2-3-4-5-6. That was nice. So we're getting up there in see, we're still at double banker. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, I'll start doing that. I think putting the final results into the descriptions, or even into the titles, and I can do that retroactively, I think. Where am I? Like I say, as soon as I start talking, I am up Shit Creek. That's 1-2 third. No, it's not. It's 1-2 second. Alright, I'll take it. 37-19. We're still running it, you know, double banker. 51 second. 2-3 third. 1-2-3. Yeah, the flow is with us. Obviously, we're, you know, player is dominating, but it's the flow that matters. +1, plus max 5 units. Do it again. And now the next one that we lose, we will eat. Uh-oh, no eating required. Well, I won't roll that over, but 45-21, I mean, that's pretty silly, isn't it? Let's face it. Yeah, what I'm going to have to do with each session now is make a note. In fact, I have it all in my notebooks. I don't know why I'm doing that. It's already in existence. I don't have to go back and look it up. It's all in my notebooks. So we save that shoe. Start a new shoe. I think out of sheer mischief, I'm just going to roll over the 1-2-5. Keeping in mind that if we lose it, no, I won't roll it over, because then I'm going to have a minus. I don't like minuses. So we'll go back to the minimum. Shows what I know, huh? Okay, 51. I mean, that's a little minus over there. I don't mind that. It's the 3-figure minuses that I can't be doing with. So 51 second. Repeat it. And we're out. There we go. .51 second again, and a repeat, and we're out. Doink. Yeah, you know, I watched these two guys just pissing their money away, and it's depressing, really. I mean, obviously more so for them than for me, but still, you know, you sort of, well, guys, I mean, if you only thought it through, bet smart, damn it, you know. I mean, don't stick your neck in a noose and kick away the chair. It's just silly. And old Jason, Mr. Hampay, does that all the time. I mean, it's just frightening. With his kind of money behind you, you could kick some serious house ass, as I used to say back in Nevada. Is that 51 second? I believe it is. 2-3 third. There we go. But you know, I mean, this is so consistent, so reliable, so easy. I can't imagine why anybody would argue. I mean, why would you fight it? That's a repeat. We try again. There we are. We're out of that one. Back to the min. +1. 51 second. 2-3 third. 5-3 drop. And the drop thing is entirely up to you. 6-3. 6-3 it is. 1, 2, 3. 9-6. Uh-oh. 3-4. And again, we're being looked after. We're at 1,000. Again, the player is kicking ass again. What is going on? But this is how it goes. It really is. I mean, anybody who's played this game for any length of time knows that. It's just real. Repeat. Alright, and there we go. Back to the min. +1. +1. +1. That's it, plus max. Oh dear. Try that one again. So that would be 3-4 third. Oh dear. Well, there we go. The flow. Oh, I was trying to think where I was getting the sort of the accent thing on that, and it's from that funny thing. What was it called? Fantasy Island years ago. Ricardo Montalban and that little guy, the dwarf. God, I don't remember his name. I know Montalban and he are both dead now. Hector somebody, was it? The plane! The plane! So that's me. The flow! Alright, so that was a loss. So double for the loss. And 1, 2 third. Alessandro? No. I don't know. It'll come to me when I've done this. So that's 1, 2 third. That's 3-2 drop. 4-2. 5-2. 6-2. 7-2. Come on. Snap out of it. 8-2. 9-2. Oh dear. 10-2. Should I run away? Look at this, we're nearly equal now. 10-2 it is. 10-2 is lousy. I mean, I'm not happy about 10-2. But it's not good to increase your bet until you've got a feel. I mean, you know, the larger bet until you've got a feel as to where you're going. So 10-2. 8-4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The whole idea being, win your losses back, your prior losses back in fewer bets than it took you to get into deep shit in the first place. Okay. And now I've lost where I am. 8-4. Now we're on 4-5, aren't we? Go for it, player. All right. See, and there we've got this sort of like long losing streak here, and then we're out of it in 4 wins. That's unusual. That's because, of course, we were in the drop mode, drop zone, you might call it. So it takes longer to get out of trouble, obviously, because the winning bet is lower. It's at the drop level. All of these are minor details that it's up to you to decide what you want to do. But anyway, we're now out of trouble. We're at 1800. We're 5 bets ahead, whereas before we were quite a bit more than that. Double for the loss. Double for the tie because it's 100 or less. And now we've got 2, 3, third. 1, 2, 3. And we're out. And again, 2 losses got us into trouble, 1 win got us out of trouble. That's the plan. That's the engine, the driving force. The flow! Double for the tie. And that would be plus max. We don't double those. 1 more we need. We didn't get it, so we'll chase that. We got that one, so we're out of trouble there. Back to the min. Double for the loss. Repeat. Back to the min. Beep. Oh, what up, ba-doodle-doo, dip-a-dip-dip-doodle-dum. Sorry, I'm not stalling for time. I'm just thinking, what have I got left to do before the gang gets here? That's going to be 51 second. That's going to be a repeat. That's 1, 2 second. That's 3, 4 third. That's nice, thank you. Oh, look at that, perfect. Alright. I like it. So it's another 2 shoes that were not at all terrible. 39 to 31. I mean, you know, it's sort of like, yeah. But I'm going to fix that with the channel. Put all those things up so that everybody can see where we're at. I probably won't do it all at once, but I'll do it with the most recent ones. Let's have a look at results and see how we got on in terms of average win and average loss, and it really is critical that you win more when you win, blah 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 blah. Boy, we got into real trouble here, didn't we? All right then. So, number 866. 5575 divided by a hell of a lot, 45. Yeah, we're going to be a little bit out, I think, on the win over loss thing, because we had 45 wins to 21 losses, so we weren't exactly stretched, you know. Alexa. 5,575 over 45.
Good afternoon, Ian. 5,575 divided by 45 is approximately 123.8889.
2,075 divided by 21. It's going to be 100.
2,075 divided by 21 is approximately 98.8095.
Okay, 99 then. Alexa, 124 over 99.
124 divided by 99 is approximately 1.2525.
Silly question really, but you know, I have to ask. Okay, so that's 125%, which is, that's right on target. But yeah, we really had it all up, you know, it just went all our way, didn't it, that time, so. Kind of redundant to keep typing that in, but you know, old dogs, new tricks, etc. Very difficult. Very tricky. Bum-ba-dum-dum. Oh, another nasty. Oh, there must be a minus over here, isn't there? I'm always looking for a minus. Excuse me. All right, number 867. 5,600 over 39. Yeah, we kicked ass in both of these. It's ridiculous. 3125 over 31. Well, I think I can manage that on my own. That's going to be 101, close enough. Minus 101. Alexa, 5,600 divided by 39.
5,600 divided by 39 is approximately 143.5897.
144 over 101.
144 divided by 101 is approximately 1.4257.
Yeah, okay. Another no-brainer there, but got to go through the motions, right? Skip, drop, 144 over 101 equals 143%. All right, well, you know, all I can do is just keep shoving these things up and saying, come on, guys. I mean, think about it. Let's have a look at the front page. And there we are. Right now, we're just in the whole front page. We've got just one tiny loss, which rolled over to the next one, where we won 5,050. So we ended up, for those 1 2/3 shoes, we ended up with a win of whatever the hell that is, 3,750. So, you know, we're in bloody good shape, is all I can say. And I will update the model and tack that on to the end of this video. So I'll see you next time. I'm sure there will be a next time. Finally, bye-bye. I've just been hammering away at the instruction, the keys for this recording thing, and it just wouldn't start. Anyway, all I wanted to do was to just catch my single viewer up, or there might be 2 or 3 subscribers, whatever, with where we're at with the model right now. We've got 614 shoes, because I just added up to shoe 867, which is the last one in the current demo that this is attached to. And what we're looking at here is a 99.97% win rate, an actual win, assuming that it was real money, and we have to make that assumption because we don't have the time to sit down and play 36,332 rounds in at a real casino or collection of casinos or whatever. So we're looking at a win of 1.173, nearly 1.1 million. We've had 2 busts along the way, which are clearly indicated in this chart over here. As I said, 614 shoes in this model to date. We arrive at the 99.97% win rate by saying, okay, so there was 6,569 turnarounds to date. and 2 busts, and the busts were $500,000 or slightly more each. Now, one of the things that you have to think about with these models, of course, is that they have absolutely no human interaction or human element at all. In many ways, that's a good thing because they don't make mistakes, and I'm extremely good at making mistakes. But they don't make mistakes. But what they do is they play on through circumstances and situations and challenges which I personally find improbable at the very best, in terms of, would I actually sit through that? So what I'm going to do is just show you what I'm talking about. If I ask for busts, we come to, we're 23,000 rounds in, and the bust comes, the first bust comes after 11 consecutive losses. Now, my gag rule, gag is short, as my loyal followers will know, is short for get up and go. And that simply says, okay, if the house gets 5 bets ahead of you and the current bet is 1,000 or more, then run away, get out. You know? And so that is what would have happened with human interaction here. But I am absolutely content to leave this alone and not to sort of rewrite the algorithm so that it runs away from these things, only because at some point you're going to see a bust. That's why you have a huge bankroll behind you. And of course, you know, at this point, before the bust, the bankroll was at, let's see, the horizontal green lines there that say OK in the column that's currently greyed out. Those are turnarounds, quite clearly, okay? So after the last turnaround, we were 1.56 million ahead. So we didn't have anything to worry about in terms of bankroll, because we were ready with backing for this strategy at the very beginning, but we've won this much to this point. So then a bust of 514,625, very painful, but not fatal by any means. So by the time we get to the next one, we have built back up to 1,872 ahead at the last, here we go, the green line up here, 182,200, 1,872,250. When you get into these figures with commas, it gets blah, 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 blah. It's a bit of a problem. But anyway, okay, so another bust here of $500,000, which knocked us back down again to 1.337. Okay. The reason that this number here is higher than the total number up here is that the number up here takes into account the commission that we have to pay on all of our banker bets. And so we deduct that from the total win, and the total win obviously would have been 1.4 something or other, 43 million, but we have to give the house 261,000, to hell with them. You know, so that's where that comes from. Note the commission percentage here. For all of you people out there who tell yourselves, well, the commission's not so bad, it's only 5%. Is it hell? Here it turns out to be 18.21% of the total win. And what we're left here with is a win which is 63% of our best, which is not great, but there's a very good chance that over the next, assuming that I were willing to play another couple of hundred shoes, and I might well end up that way, then we will rebuild and we'll build up so that instead of it being 63%, it would be about 82% of our max, because we have to pay the commission. Okay, so that's that. Let's go over now to the summary. And what we see over here is that playing the hop, we are behind the house, not at all. We are, in fact, in all those tens of thousands of bets, we are 55 ahead of the house. The player, just betting player alone, would be 530 behind. Okay. Over here we see a repeat of the performance of pattern betting. Big drop right here, but it didn't actually go bankrupt. So we did have to dig. We had to find 437,700, which you can't see, unfortunately. Probably the smart thing for me to do, actually, is to put this in a place where hopefully you will be able to see it. I never thought of that. And there we go. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, so the actual risk was 437,700. The win is going back to here. The win is 1,173,000. So basically what we've got is, on an investment of less than 450,000, we're now seeing a profit of 1.173 million, which means we're seeing a pretty damn good return on risk. Acceptable, I think. Also up here is the average win, which is £584, or dollars, or donuts, or doodles, or whatever. And the average loss is 498. So that's 117% superiority, if you like, win over loss. And it is very important in all of these casino games to bet in such a way that you win more when you win than you lose when you lose. People who don't know their asses from their elbows will say, oh yeah, that's easy, you just bet more when you know you're going to win and you bet less when you know you're going to lose. Well, that's bollocks. You know, we've seen it over and over and over again in the demos and in this model and so on and so on. Back to the summary, the all summary over there. Confirmation of the 18.21% commission we've had to pay. 595 winners, 19 losers, okay, but only 2 of those losers turned out to be fatal, okay, that bankrupted us. So in theory, we're looking at losses which are 26.5%, 26.5 times the average win. But of course, those losers turned into winners, so it's not that fair a comparison. But in any event, 31.32 is the factor describing wins over losses. So there were 31.32 times as many winning shoes as there were losers. Going a little bit further over here, well, a lot further over here, we see that I copied 203 shoes from BNB on YouTube. 203 shoes, and what I did in every single case was to take just the first 10 shoes, so that the nutters out there, the casino sponsored shills, barkers, trolls, blah blah, would not be able to say, yeah, well, you cherry picked. So I just took numbers 1 to 10 out of every single, a succession of BNB random shoes, and got a win of 1.13 from those 203, which is basically the same as the win from all of them, because I didn't have any busts in the BNB shoes, okay? So the average win was 5,590 whatevers, and the average value, the average hold, was 20% of action in each of those 203 shoes. And if we now go over a little bit further, in this direction, we get to see recent shoes. All the green ones here, the green ones are BNB shoes that I've plugged in. Okay, so you can see just how many of those there were, and I've given that up simply because I think, wait a minute. I mean, 203 shoes. I think that's representative, you know. So we're going to come up in a minute to the most recent shoes, which would be, we ended at 867, right, which is right here. 2,400 win 24%, 3,000 win 27%, 5,000 win 16%, 4,000 win 19%, 2,000 win 31%, 3,000 31%, 3,000 19%, and that's how it is. That is the way it is. So, you know, there's no argument here about whether or not pattern betting works. The only fly in the ointment would be if I were a cheat and a fraud and a liar and a charlatan and all of those things that casino-sponsored shills, trolls, whatever, like to suggest. Casinos will tell you, pit bosses will tell you, dealers will tell you, anybody with a prod nose who appears at your shoulder when you're betting in a casino will tell you, progressive betting is suicide. You don't want to do that. Boy, you're going to lose everything if you keep doing that. What they're actually telling you, but you know, you won't be able to hear it, is we don't like you doing that because you're going to kick the shit out of us. So they try to persuade you that it's a terrible idea. The truth of the mathematics, the arithmetic, the numbers behind all these games is that if you bet flat or bet randomly, you cannot possibly win in the long run. The only way you can win is if you bet progressively. And you won't win until you recognize that. And I watched Casino King, as he so modestly calls himself, Matt something, just play, was it 9 rounds maybe? And he had 5,000 behind him. And in 9 bets he was out. He was broke. He was finished. And he behaved in his wrap-up little speech there, which was really quite touching and nearly tearful. He behaved as if he thought that he had played sensibly and reasonably without undue over expectation or whatever, and of course he hadn't. I mean, you know, if you've got a spread of 1 to 10, you're not going to win. There's just no way. So, you know, there you are. But anyway, going back to the top, I will now go down to the very bottom and just show you how this works. We've got the latest shoe here, the last shoe, 867, which playing the hop, and that's different to what I do on the demos, but I've explained why that is. Win of 2,400, 24%, and then you go back up here and you can see the bead plate, as they call it, for this whole shoe, and it was of course advantageous quite dramatically to the to player, and player is what I usually bet, but because we were hopping, we actually didn't get that advantage quite as much as we deserved. But we were 10 ahead. That's this. In column D, it shows, you know, 867 is the shoe number, 2,400 is the total win, 24% is the hold of the action or the churn, the total value of all bets, won or lost. We managed to hold 24% of that, and we were 10 bets ahead of the house, which is always nice. But anyway, there you have it. That's where we're at right now. So quick summary: 99.97% win rate, over $1 million ahead. We had a risk up here, as you can see, 437. This should say BR low here, but for some bizarre reason, the spreadsheet pitch to fit, which took me hours to recover from, it just arbitrarily started changing every B into a C. So the bankroll low is it cost us 440,000 to fund this incredible success that we now see. not too bad, I don't think. But this is the truth of all of these games. Betting 25 minimum, I needed 440,000. If I had started at 5, then I wouldn't have needed that much. I can actually type this in here and see what that does, because all of everything above the line there is, you can change it. So you see, if I'd been betting 5, then we would have seen pretty much the same percentage if 5 was the minimum. But the bankroll exposure would be 88,000. The lowest would be, where are we? 107,000. We'd have had 2 busts just the same. The max bet permitted would have been 40,000 instead of 200,000. So you can see the way this works, you know. I mean, nothing substantial changes, but the reality of all of these games is start as low as you can, have as big a bankroll behind you as you can possibly manage, so that you have as wide a spread as you can possibly get, okay? So between 5 and 40,000, what are we looking at? We're looking at 1 to 8,000, is it? No, 1 to, yeah. So we're talking 1 to 8,000. That's pretty decent. That works, you know. But everything else stays the same. The commission, all of that stuff, you know. So what you're seeing is, you know, you need to start low. You'll still make lots of money, but you won't obviously make as much as if you had a bigger start and a much larger maximum bet. I mean, I don't know if I change this up here to, I don't see the point, so I'll just go back to 25. I'll put that back there. 25 is, to me, is realistic, because there's not many tables now where you can bet as little as $5. So basically, there you have it, folks. That's where we're at with the hop model, which is not the same as what I'm doing in the demos, but the demos are the way they are simply to demonstrate that what I'm telling you is truth. And if you can't figure that out after, well, Google is still telling me that people are only watching on average 2.5 minutes. So, you know, I'm not doing very well. I'm not getting my point across. I'm not making recruits. What I really want to do is, you know, my dream would be to have 100,000 people learning how to use this strategy, having the money behind them to do it right, to be cool, calm, collected, disciplined, confident, and basically, perhaps most important of all, sober. Because the casinos don't feed you free booze because they love you to bits. They give you free booze because they think that you're stupid, and they're often right. They think that you become even more stupid when you drink some of that free alcohol, when you get that lot down you. The more you lose, the more you drink, the more you start thinking, well, shit, if I'm losing all this money, I'm going to get some more free drinks. Well, they're not free drinks. They are the most expensive drinks in the world, bar none. So don't be fooled by that nonsense. And all I can do is tell you the truth. And if you don't like it, go away. That's all I can say. And everything is up to you, because it's your money. So I'm done for a bit. This is going to be a long one, but once in a while I have to do that. See you later.